Good morning and welcome to another Memphis Monday. If you're new here, welcome aboard, and if you're a regular viewer, welcome back. Today we're going to get started on our third movable storage cabinet for in the house, and let's go in there and take a look at the problem. This is my study slash man cave, and this is an old prototype card table I built a few years back. The black thing there is an old potting table I cut the legs off of and brought inside to put my TV on. And down there at the end is some 30-year-old file cabinets. Well, anyway, what I want to do is I want to build a storage unit that will contain all this stuff in one unit and take all this old junk out of here. Well, that was me sketching this thing up. So what I came up with is a cabinet that looks something like this for the different components. I'm going to make a drawer for my printer, a drawer for my CD player up here at the top. Then I'll have two small storage drawers. My file cabinet will be consolidated into the center here, and then I'll have two large storage drawers here, and the whole thing will be on wheels. Okay, this is the carcass we're working on. We've got to be working on now. It consists of the top, the bottom, and 4 vertical members. So let's cut these pieces. Yeah, I fast forwarded through actually cutting this wood, but I got those are the vertical, the 90 centimeter vertical pieces, and there's the top and the bottom. Okay, let me show you on the drawing what the next operation is. Here on the drawing I can illustrate what we have to do. We have to put a rabbet all the way around the top, the side, and the bottom. We had to put a rabbet recessed about 1/8 of an inch in, so that we can put the back on the thing. Okay, let's set up our dado set and cut those rabbets. I'm setting this thing up, my dado set up for about 1/2 inch thickness. I only need a little bit less than 1/4. I'll be using to do rabbets or dados, or to do rabbets with the dado set, you got to use a sacrificial fence. And what the sacrificial fence does is allows me to get the dado blade underneath the fence. So let's roll this thing up. Okay, now I can adjust this table saw to exactly cut the dado I need. This is some of the this is some of the backer board dimensions. So all I have to do is, that gives me the thickness of my dado. And then this is my vertical pieces, and I want it to cut about halfway through. There's our rabbet, and then our backing board will go in that rabbet just like that. I got the pocket holes all drilled, and I've got it down on the floor here, and I'm kind of putting the parts together. These are the spacers that will determine the spacing of the verticals and also provide the fake dados. Let me show you those. Well, that was easy enough. Here's the faux dado joint. And let's go down here and look at the rabbet. That's the fake rabbet joint. So it looks like our invention a couple of weeks ago was working out good. Okay, everything's going along good. Let me flip this thing over and we'll put the back on it. Well, I'm just nailing the back on. Couldn't be much easier than this. This thing's already heavy, but it's about ready to get heavier because we're going to put wheels on it right now. What I'm doing here is I'm going to laminate another piece of another sheet of plywood on the bottom, like we've done several times before. Here I'm just putting the bottom on with screws. I'll go ahead and finish this, and then I'll show you how I got the bottom set up. Here's a summary of the bottom. We start out with the vertical here, and then we got the fake dado right here. Then we got the bottom of the case, and then we got the layer for the casters. So that total thickness there is about 2 inches, which is probably about an inch more than we need. Let's look at the casters. Here's a view of the casters. They're about 3.5 inches, and they're rated for about 200 pounds a piece. What do you mean you never saw casters like that on what is essentially a dresser? Well, it's the latest thing. I know it's the latest thing because I just invented it. What I'm doing here is installing trim. I've got to get the trim installed before I can install the drawer slides, because the drawer slides have to come out right to the very end of the trim. So you can't do one without the other. Well, I got all the trim on. It's looking pretty good. Next thing is to install the drawer slides. I think I'm going to use a different technique this time, just to break the monotony. So let me show you how I do it. Okay, here's the design change. I decided there's too much going on with that printer to be inside of a drawer, because it's got paper going in, paper going out, and you got to work on them all the time. So what I've decided to do is to make all 4 drawer fronts the same, only these, the left and right drawer fronts, they'll look like drawer fronts, but they'll actually be doors, and they'll open to the outside, and on the inside will be a sliding tray that will slide out with the printer on it. Okay, so let's talk about positioning the drawer slides. Okay, from this drawing you can see that I need a drawer slide here. I need a drawer slide for this big drawer located here. Same thing here. I need a drawer slide here, and a drawer slide there, a drawer slide there, drawer slide there, drawer slide there, and a drawer slide here. Let me show you the jig I came up with to put these drawer slides in. A couple of weeks ago we used blocks like this to draw lines when we installed our drawer slides. Today we're going to cut out the middleman. We're not going to draw lines. We're going to install these jigs and put the drawer slide right on top up there and install it just like that. Your jig won't fit, but I don't want to fiddle around holding that jig, so I've got it set up. I got it set up where I can tack that thing in place, and just take my, on these trays there are going to be, the other drawers will come all the way to the end of the trim there, but I'm going to set these, these trays back to the beginning of the trim, because I want the tray to be totally recessed. See, no hands. I'm holding this whole thing together using no hands. It's you know, that's a jig. That is the definition of a jig. It's a fixture to hold in place work while you're working on it. Well, I guess that about does it. We got off to a real good start on our storage cabinet project. We got the thing all framed up and drawer slides installed and trim installed, and we got her on rollers. I think we're making real good progress. I think we'll be able to finish this thing up next week. We'll build the drawers and the doors and all that stuff, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. Well, anyway, thanks for watching, and make sure you comment and like and favorite and Facebook and tweet and all that stuff. And I guess that's everything. No, it's not. One more thing. Make sure you're back here next week for another exciting Memphis Monday. Thanks for watching.